What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing the KD Perfect Cell Kamehameha 1/4 scale statue in all its glory. So here it is, all set up, all lit up, and it looks absolutely glorious. Shout out to KD for this amazing statue. If you guys are interested in purchasing any KD statues, he may have some of these available, not 100% sure, but this is his website, natsukashicreation.com. He also has a Facebook group, KDC. So use the links below if you guys want to join his Facebook group and buy any statues. In my personal opinion, this is by far the best studio out there. So here it is. Now, I did originally have a light up issue. Like, this was not lighting up. What I did to fix it, in case you guys are having the same issue, is I used these Q-tips and some ethyl alcohol, and basically it was this arm. There might have been some paint inside or something, but where is the connector both on the arm and on the body, I thoroughly used that, and then I also just blow dried it as well, and it finally worked. I tried multiple things, like taking cell on and off the body, trying to wiggle this at certain angles to see if I could get it to work. Nothing worked until I did that. Now, granted, I'm not going to be using light up, but it is really cool to see it all lit up. So there you have it. Now, not lit up, this is what it looks like, which still has a really cool effect. He did sort of like a non-translucent frosted effect right here, which looks really cool. Of course, it does look better lit up, as does any statue. It always looks better lit up, but you can't turn it on all the time because we don't live in a day and age that allows you to have, this on all the time. So we'll go ahead and unplug that. Let's throw it on the Lazy Susan and review this bad boy. Alrighty, folks. So here is everything you do get with KD Cell. Now, this was priced, I think, at $800 or $900 plus shipping, and I think shipping was, I paid for shipping for him and Gohan together, and it was like, I can't even remember, a few $100s. Wasn't too bad. He came in 2 boxes, but you get this art print, which looks really good, although I'd probably prefer it reverse direction, going this way, same as the statue, especially if you're gonna face it off against Gohan, it's kind of opposite. So I would say reverse this. Otherwise, it's a very nice looking art print. Granted, I wish their art prints were a little bit bigger. I don't like the smaller art prints with my statues. I prefer more of like a 16 by 20, 18 by 24. Now, here is the COA it comes with, and this one is more or less just the statue with like a green background. I got number 88, and this was limited, I think, to 300. So this one does have a very similar base, obviously, to Gohan. You got the big black underbase with the KD Shenron Dragons. Very big base in general. It's probably a good 30 or 40% bigger than Gohan's. This one does not have the yellow aura on it like Gohan's. This one is just clouds and blue aura. Aura from either, the Ki Blast or whatever, but no yellow on this one. It is just the blue, and it does have 2 pretty massive blue auras on this. And, like I said, same thing on Gohan. It's a big missed opportunity to not do light up in all these auras. These are massive auras, and it'd be really cool when you light it up to have this, that, and that all light up. So I definitely think it's a missed opportunity on KD on not doing that. Otherwise, the base does look fantastic. I love the cloud effect, the way it's flowing. This one has a pretty big rock in it. Here's this one coming out from the side. And, it's just a good mixture of cloud, aura, and then the main brown, base itself, the rocks, the texture and paint app looks great. Lots of different shading of brown and black, some gray. Rocks are being torn up from this very fierce battle. So very cool looking base in general. I like it quite a bit. The only thing lacking, honestly, is a light up. But I love the cloud effect. It looks really well done. White and brown and gray shades. Not translucent, but it's fine. It looks overall good. And as you can see, like Cell's back foot is covered by all this aura. If you want to see it back here like that. So, yeah, check out Cell. He has yellow feet. And then black. There's some scuff marks on there. There's a pretty big electricity effect. And then the green and purple. I love the color of the green. It looks fantastic. And, you know, the darker, like very dark green as well on these spots. Here's a rock that is inserted into his leg. Very buff looking leg. Now he's quite a big boy. You know, and then the purple looks really well done. His arms, lots of detail, lots of scuff marks all throughout, especially like, you know, like right there, all these little scuff marks all throughout his arms. So a lot of scuff marks throughout. Looks really well done. And again, it's kind of hard to see his portrait, but, you know, check that out. His portrait's absolutely fantastic. Like, that's probably the best cell portrait I've ever seen. I'll need to compare it to my Infinity, but this thing is absolutely amazing. Definitely leagues. Oh, and the rock fell. Yeah, that rock doesn't actually go in super good. Leagues better than his original. Already got that nice and good. I don't think it was displayed all the way in. Yeah, but this is one of the best cell portraits I've ever seen. You know, it even has like the texture inside. Here's the wings, similar to my last Infinity cell where it's all connected. Alrighty, yeah, so overall, the wings, they do look good. There's lots of scuff marks. It's more or less like a smooth texture on the outside, with just a few scuff marks here and there. There is that one thick electricity effect. But then when you look on the inside of the wings, it does have a lot more like texture on the inside. You know, on the so I do like the way they did that. The Kamehameha effect is absolutely massive. I mean, just look at this. It's honestly kind of mind-boggling that they were able to do that. One arm holding that, like, oh my gosh. It's not light either. That thing's quite heavy. It's solid, you know, translucent resin, and the effect looks absolutely amazing. One of the best Kamehameha effects I've seen, honestly. This arm is almost slightly touching, but it looks really well done the way they posed him. But you have the big layer, smaller, and then the shooting out with the frosted white tips, you know, white and blue. But yeah, that is absolutely one of the coolest things I've seen on a DBZ statue, that Kamehameha effect. It is exceptionally well done. So I'm curious if Prime 1 Vegeta will top this, because this is just ridiculously cool. Now, it does make, of course, if you're going to view Cell from straight on, you can't see him. You can't see his portrait off. You're looking at that angle. So, obviously, the ideal angle is this, and that's why the logo is right there. You know, from this angle, you can see pretty much everything. Like, you can see his face. You can see his arms. His chest is a little bit blocked. You can see it from more like that angle. This is not a piece you're going to want to put down low, because that's going to be your angle. You're not going to see that portrait at all. I'm putting mine on a mid-tier shelf. It definitely has a lot of presence. It's a big boy. I love the colors overall, and I think it's absolutely freaking amazing. 10 out of 10 for sure. Let's go ahead and put it next to Gohan, as well as Infinity Cell. I'm going to do it next to Infinity Cell next, then Gohan. Alrighty, YouTubers, so here is a quick side-by-side of KD Cell next to Infinity Studios Cell. Now, who did it better? So there's definitely a lot of differences between the two. Now, KD does have a bigger base. It's also quite a bit, you know, it's deeper for sure, wider. Infinity Cell is taller, mostly due to the pose. I kind of feel like the body dimensions, now there are some differences, you know, like I think his shoulders are a tad bit wider. His waist, like groin area, is a little bit bigger. Legs are about equal thickness. But overall, the dimensions are very similar. Very, like, they almost look very identical. KD's is a darker green. This is a lighter green. And of course, this has the glossy black. Purple is about the same. You know, like, check out Infinity Cell. Look at the electricity effects. This is slightly different colored blue, almost blue-greenish, or that's more of a true blue for that. This one has the light up aura, which again, I thought was fantastic in my video review. Of course, this one is a museum pose, hence it's taller. You can see more of the body better. This is a key blast pose, you know, so I feel like these are the two best cells out there. Now, which one is better? I need to look at both portraits side by side. Hold on. Alrighty, so here is the portraits. They're about almost the exact same size. They look, the skin color on him's more white, where this one's not quite as white. I mean, it's like a gray. The purple looks almost identical. The eyes are similar, except for this one's almost like a decal, and that I think is painted. Katie's has more of the green things, where this one's like bigger. No, his are smaller. And based off that image of cell, I believe this one is more accurate. You know. They're both so incredibly well done. But I would say, you know, based off of like that photo, and you can see just how shiny Cell's black parts look, like everything's shiny. I think Infinity Studios is more accurate, you know, of the cells. You know, but I think I may like Katie's more. You know, like Infinity's is incredible. But this KD one is just unfreaking real, especially with like that pose, the key blast. The base, I think Infinity's base might be better. I don't know. I mean, I love the yellow aura on this, and the cloud effect I think is better on that. The brown main base is probably about equal. It's just the aura on that is better than the aura on that, like the blue. Katie, of course, has a better underbase. The Dragon Ball Z logo's about the same on each. The Dragon Ball just looks different. That one's more protruding. That one's not protruding. But, I mean, the bases are almost kind of equal. I mean, Katie's is bigger, but I like the cloud and aura effect and the light up better on that. Actual Cell's body, that's more accurate. But I think pose with the key blast makes KD cells, you know, probably a little bit better. So overall, I'd probably say KD cell is better than Infinity. Not by like a huge margin, but I think it's better. I think that's more accurate, but I think this is just better due to the nature of what it is. Kamehameha with that amazing key blast and the pose. I really like that pose. You know, I like that pose as well, but I'm generally a bigger fan of action pose versus museum. So I think just that alone, you know, puts KD a little bit above it. Now, the question begs, what's a better key blast, that or Prime 1 Goku? Prime 1 Goku is like a little ball and it's like exploding into the back. You know, so it's honestly kind of a similar concept, just reversed. You know, and I love the key blast on Goku for sure. Now that's another key blast I have. That one, just a little ball. The Goku Super Saiyan 3 is incredible, the way it's like swirling. You know, but this one is definitely extremely unique and I absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and put cells next to each other and see how it looks in the display. Alrighty, folks, so here is Cell in the display. I am thinking I may want to lower that shelf because I have a lot of space right there, but very little space right there. Like when I'm standing up, it actually is blocking Cell. Not a huge deal, but I could definitely lower it, although I kind of like having those the exact same height. And I can't lower this one because of Piccolo. So what do you think? Should I keep the shelf like this? When standing, this is the angle. When sitting, I can obviously see it really good. Like I come over here, like that's my angle. So obviously I can see it really good. And most of the time I am sitting. So I think I may even want to scoot Cell a little to the right just because that bar's blocking his wing. And I don't know about that Vegeta back there. I think I might just remove that. Give me a sec. Alrighty, and that's kind of the look if you were to have them facing off against each other, which definitely is extremely cool. Just a matter of, do you want it, you know, facing where I can't see them as good, but it creates the scene, or you have them facing me where I can see them both visually better. You know, of course, they both still look really cool like this. What do you guys think? What do you prefer? And do you prefer it with or without that little Vegeta, like in the middle, in the back, kind of like he's blasting Cell? I mean, it does work, but I don't know, maybe. I definitely like it this way as well. Alrighty, so one thing you'll notice I've done is I don't display my COAs in the front. I don't like it blocking the base. It's just a COA. It's like a cool little, you know, authenticity. But like with my MK, I never display it in the front. It's always behind the statue. I've decided to do the same with this outside of Sume because their COAs are freaking amazing. Only theirs I'm displaying up front. Everyone else, I'm displaying it behind the statue to create less of a cluttered look. So for this one, I'm doing Cell there and Gohan there. And then, of course, that is the Blu-ray. And we'll just keep Vegeta like that, along with that head of, you know, Android 16. So yeah, there it is. As you can see, Cell is a very big boy. Like, he's definitely a lot thicker than Trunks. Like, he's quite a bit bigger, actually. In person, in initial pics, I was like, wait, they look the same size. But seeing it here in person, I'm like, yeah, Cell's way bigger. So it definitely scales very good. I think this is a properly scaled 1/4. KD's original Cell, not only did it have like leaning issues, broken legs, the face was not as good, but also was severely underscaled by probably 30%. So KD did not underscale this one. He made it proper size, as you saw next to Infinity Cell, a full, you know, a licensed Cell. So KD definitely killed it. I give it a solid 10 out of 10. It's the best Cell ever created. You know, I think it slightly edges out Infinity for me. It's absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, KD, for this amazing statue. I'm going to back it up, give you a view of the whole wall. It feels so good to have that display finally set up. It's just a matter of, should we lower that shelf? If I lowered it, I feel like I'd want to lower this one. Maybe just display those on the ground if I did that. But yeah, this Cell will be best displayed mid-shelf or top shelf. You know, but the way I'm kind of doing this is by saga, you know, more or less kind of Frieza and Android-ish. And then, you know, well, technically Saiyan Saga, those two kind of fit. That's Frieza-ish, Frieza, Android Cell, Boo. You know, this will be Fat Boo, Kid Boo. Then this is just villains and Goku and Vegeta. So Cell is definitely very welcome. Definitely an absolute keeper. I don't foresee myself ever selling this, you know. It's the definite Cell. Don't ever need another Cell again after these two. But yeah, join the KD Facebook group, KDC. Join my Facebook group, DBZ Resin Collectors, Flankster Statue Collectors. All the links are in the description below. If you're buying any statues, use the links below. It does help the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.